I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna do something with this phone. Y'all hang on. We're gonna talk about New Year's resolutions. Um, okay, here we go. I'm gonna go live on Instagram for y'all. I got a lot of stuff up here. Sorry, a lot of little stuff I gotta deal with here. I gotta tidy up this desk. Okay, so this is gonna be about New Year's resolutions. I am live on Instagram and also on YouTube. So wherever you are, hope you can find me. Um, if you ever need links to where I am, or where to find me, just message me and I'll send you everything. And I also have extra stuff on my website besides the membership and things like that. If you have more stuff you want to explore, I still have my healing therapies on there. And I still have the affiliate links. If you want to make some money off my stuff, you can do that as well. And anyway, so let's get to it. So this is, whoops, sorry. I know I seem unorganized right now, but I promise everything has gone really well today. So, um, sorry. Shit. So I'm gonna attempt to talk about New Year's resolutions for dark femmes and what that looks like. So what you need to do is be honest with yourself and look at your weaknesses and the places where you are weak. But I want you to do it in such a way that that sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. Sorry. Sorry. So what you need to do is look at your weaknesses, but I don't want you to be hard on yourself about it. I don't want you to be judgmental on yourself about it. I want you to be kind to yourself and just be open with yourself and just be honest with yourself without tearing yourself down. This is not a time where when you need to be criticizing yourself and making yourself feel bad and shit like that. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is look at where you've been screwing yourself up, and and not just habits, but especially with mindsets, and more specifically in mindsets. I want you to look at old stories you've been telling yourself about who you are, what your life is, what you're meant for, why you are the way you are, and shit like that. I want you to look at your life and look at the stories, your self stories, as I like to call them, and say, okay, what am I telling myself and about my life that just isn't working anymore? It's something that just doesn't feel good when you hear it. You can test it and just say it out loud to yourself, or think of the last time that you remember somebody asking you about yourself and you told them what you do or who you are, what your life is like, or what you like to do, things like that. And think back on what you said, and think back on how you felt in that moment when you said those things, and what kind of an impact it had on you when you heard yourself say it. Do you see what I mean? When you can look back and just kind of review that, you're going to know whether or not, if something is aligned for you, if it's the right thing to hear yourself say, or if it sounded kind of old and tired to you, or if it sounded like it wasn't really you, or if you weren't passionate about it when you said it, those kinds of things. Just examine yourself and see how those things feel when you say them. And one thing about dark feminine that you have to remember, if you're going to live this kind of a lifestyle, is you need to learn how to find your courage and exercise it, and do it. Just do it. This is the kind of lifestyle where, if you really have your heart set on something, or there's some dream job you want, or some goal you want to hit, you do not waver or give yourself a chance to argue with yourself about it, or give yourself a chance to question yourself about it, or any of that. You don't say those things like like I was saying yesterday, in the membership. We were talking about this kind of thing, but mainly like, I said, if you want to make changes, don't, when you get up in the morning, and let's say your New Year's resolution is to start working out every morning. When you get up in the morning and you think to yourself, oh my God, do I feel like doing this shit today for real? Do I or don't I? Don't do that. Don't even give yourself a chance to say, do I feel like this today? Don't give yourself a chance to say that. You get up, catch your breath, realize what room you're in, and then you get up, brush your teeth, whatever, put your shoes on, and go to the gym and just go. And don't ask yourself anything. Get your earbuds, get your phone and your water, and go. And just get in there, just get your ass in there, and just get started. You know, when you take the time to stop and ask yourself, do I feel like doing it, or let your fear come up, and your fears will create excuses for you to not do something. Well, I shouldn't do that because blah blah blah. Well, I don't know, because later today, blah 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 blah, and I don't want to be too tired, blah blah blah. And going to the gym won't make you tired. I used to think that would make me tired, and I didn't want to go in the morning, but I go in the mornings and I feel like $1,000,000 when I get out of there. I'm in there 45 minutes or an hour. That's all it takes. And I feel fantastic when I come out. My blood's moving, my brain is working, I'm breathing, like my body is awake, and it just releases the chemicals that you need to just get through the day. So it's not going to wear you out if you want to do it before work or whatever. Um, so one of the things you can do is to call on your courage and say, all right, there's this thing I want to do. I'm scared to do it because whatever your excuse is, whatever pops up in your mind that your fear throws at you. I've never done this before. I'm not used to this. I'm going to be around a bunch of people I don't know. I don't have anything to wear. I don't know what to say. Whatever the fuck, just the regular stuff that people come up with as an excuse to not go. But all you're doing is coming up with excuses to not move ahead and to not put yourself ahead in your own life. Like, this is your life. I'm not one to tell people what to do, but for real, if you want to be in my world and live the way I live and do the things I do, you just have to push yourself into doing things that you don't think you want to do or you can't do. And that's one of my biggest New Year's resolutions. That's one of my big ones. is to, like, when I hear myself say, oh, I can't do that, before I come up with an excuse, I just say, nah, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. You don't have anything to wear? If you don't have a bunch of money to spend, go to the thrift store, get you a dress for $5, $10. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter if somebody else wore it. No one's going to know. No one has to know. Go down to the thrift store with a few dollars, get yourself something, and just wear comfortable shoes, or get you some shoes while you're there. It doesn't matter. What's one time? What's one event? So what? People, especially women, let social pressures get in the way of doing things because they're afraid of how they're going to look. They're afraid of what people are going to think. They're afraid, da 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 da. And that, the fear of, oh my God, what's so and so going to think, that is stopping you from living. There's no reason for that. So in Dark Femme, we don't do that. You're the center of your life, and everybody else around you is just kind of like playing their part, so to speak. And there's no reason for you to have to not do something, or for you to skip out on something and miss out on something big, just because you're afraid of how you're going to look or what people are going to think of what you're wearing, or what people are going to think of you because you don't know what to say. If you can go to an event and you look at least a little bit decent, you don't have to look like a model. It's not like that, but look a little bit decent, put a little bit of makeup on, put at least a couple of pieces of jewelry on, a little bit of perfume if you got it, and just, as long as you've made some kind of an effort to look decent and you show up, you don't have to have, the best speech in the world prepared. You don't have to sound like you know everything, but be pleasant when people talk to you and just be very friendly. and just be very sincere, and build good rapport with people, and be honest. And you don't have to talk too much. If you don't know what to say and you're not good at socializing, you don't have to lead the conversation. Don't It doesn't have to go that way. Just chill and hang around people and just kind of introduce yourself, and say, well, I'm just here. If you don't have like a real reason to be there, just just say, well, I'm just here to learn. I'm just real excited, and I'm here to learn, and it's just good to meet everybody, and just go with that. It doesn't need to be. You don't have to always sound like the president when you go make a speech. And I don't mean Biden. You'll sound better than him. I'm not political. I don't get into politics, but let's be real. You'll sound better than him, but you don't have to sound like you're some big badass at this thing. Just chill, and and trust yourself, and trust your instincts, and trust your vibe that you put off, and trust your sincerity, and your intentions. If you go in there into this event or this group or this get together or whatever this is where you're showing up, if you can trust yourself and your intentions, and you know that you have good intentions going there, and you're just going to go there and just like put yourself around the right people or what have you, it's okay. Just put in your effort. You don't have to overdo it. Just go there, and just be happy to be there, and get yourself a coffee or whatever it is that's there, and then just let that be it. And you can still build on that. And then, if you get business cards or whatever from people, um, you talk to them for a little bit, get some conversation with them. And then, especially if it's somebody you think, you might need later on, someone's help or something like that, or a connection, text them later. Just be like, hey, I met you earlier at the whatever event. Um, that was a great story you told about blah, blah, blah. It's great to cross paths with you. I hope to see you at the next event, whatever, or something like that. Just something basic. And they're going to say, oh, yeah, thanks, so and so. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll see you at the next one. So now you're in that person's phone. So, and that's a way that you can build rapport with people, show them that you're trustworthy, show them that you're friendly and you're eager to mingle and to learn and things like that. And anyone who's ready to learn, and who is ready to get ahead and do the next step is going to get ahead and do the next step, and learn, and rise up. But you got to be ready. You got to put yourself out there. So dark femme lifestyle, is not for someone who's shy or anything like that. If you're shy and you want to learn how to do these things and not be shy anymore, I invite you to join the membership and just like get a look at what it's like. Like every week we talk about new stuff. Membership ladies get to give me topics on the new videos and stuff, and we go over things like that, and they give me ideas on video topics, and they have closer proximity with me, and things like that. And there's a chat, for the YouTube. It's a YouTube live, but it's private, and it's just for members. So we have that. And then, of course, if you want to go really deep, and you're serious and you really want to change things 100%, and you're willing to um, be a good listener and put in the effort, then I invite you to go one-on-one with me, and we'll just turn everything around. And you will not only have the courage to do the things you need to do, but you will have backup plans for everything you do. You will you'll be on your A game. You're going to know how to dress, how to carry yourself, how to take over the room. You're going to know how to make good impressions with people. You're going to know how to make sure that you don't end up being fooled or being bamboozled, or not having any options. You're going to know how to exercise all your avenues so that you always have options with things. Like a lot of people complain about um, they'll rely on one person for one certain thing, and then let's say that thing falls through. That person, decides they can't do it, or they chicken out, or whatever. Like they ended up not being reliable. I've been in some situations like that, and what saved my ass was having backup. You have your main person who you're hoping can do it. If not, you're going to have somebody else on standby and say, hey, I've asked so and so for some help with something, but is it okay if I, come to you if they can't do it, or if anything goes wrong, you know, and just be honest. That person's either going to, say yes or no. And if they don't, get somebody else. And and that's it's just like one of those things that you can do to just kind of protect yourself. Dark feminine, there's a lot of misconceptions about it. People think it's about just controlling men, and taking all their money and stuff like that. If you want all your bills to come from men, I mean all of your money to come from men, fine. If that's the life you want to live, I'm not gonna, I'm not, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But I myself am a bit hyper independent, so I don't do, um, getting all my stuff done. Not like that. Not down. Not every detail like that, and especially not my money from other people. If anyone drops out or can't come through or whatever, I don't do that shit. I would rather just have my own money, pay my own bills. Other shit that I can't do, like construction or plumbing, obviously I'd have someone else do that. But when it comes to just, basic money and basic survival, I'll pay my own fucking bills. I don't need someone else to do that. Um, so, but like I say, with New Year's resolutions, just look back on things that you might be embarrassed about with yourself, things that you're not that you're doing that aren't good for you, and just be real with yourself and just be like, I'm not going to do that anymore. And every day, if you need to, write it down somewhere, paste it on the wall, so you can see it every day when you got the door. Put a reminder in your phone that pops up every day, um, and just um, and let yourself experience something new, experience a new version of yourself. A lot of people laugh about the new year new me thing, but I don't laugh at it. If somebody wants to say new year new me, and they're really putting in the effort and they really give a shit and they're trying to do better, I'm not going to laugh at that. I would never laugh at that. So um and for example, my other main New Year's resolution is to not look to the past anymore for justice or answers or payback or any of that. I'm not doing any of that shit. If someone from my past, or if anyone from 2023 or beyond, farther back than that, anyone that is not from 2024 who I had a falling out with, I had a disagreement with, had a misunderstanding with, I was owed money from, whatever. I'm not going back to get an apology or to get a payback of any kind or an explanation or for any of that shit. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go on Facebook or whatever and look up somebody to see what they're doing now. Even if it used to be a friend of mine, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to let that shit go. Like, this is a new year. I'm not going to look to the past for anything anymore, because I spent a lot of time looking to the past, like trying to um, get answers or trying to figure out why things happen and shit like that. And I catch myself trying to do that every once in a while, like, why did such and such happen, or I wonder what so and so's up to now. Just people I used to know, and nothing weird, but just regular people I went to school with or whatever. And my one of my other New Year's resolution, like I say, is to just cut that shit out and not look to the past for information. Like, it's over with. That time is gone. So from now on, I'm going to be thinking about just the shit I need to do in the moment and how much it's going to help me. And each habit and each thing that I do, I'm just going to stop and ask myself, is this helping me for my future? Yes or no? And it's one or the other. If it's a gray area, you need to rethink, because I'm also a Taurus and we tend to work in absolutes. So that may not work for everybody, what I just said, the no gray area allowed thing. But for the most part, I like to make sure that it's just yes or no, because I like to try to stay on track and not have distractions and not have too much wiggle room, because I don't want to get lazy, and I'm afraid of that, and I don't want to. I feel like I've been lazy and with some things, and this year I'm not going to be lazy with shit. I'm just not going to. Something needs to be done. I'm going to do it right then, which for the most part I'm pretty good about, but you know I don't. I have higher standards for myself this year, and I've got bigger goals, and I'm doing bigger things this year than I've ever done before. So um, I'm just gonna be more on my A game than I ever have been, and as always, we're just gonna see where it takes me, and I highly advise that you hold yourself to a higher standard and have your New Year's resolutions and keep them, not just for discipline's sake, but also because you deserve the the outcome, the benefits and the experience that you'll get, the good times that you'll have, and all the good things that can come to you and the people you can get around, and the successes you can have, and the goals you can reach, just by sticking by your own side and having your own back. I know it can be lonely sometimes to be your own cheerleader, and I know it can be lonely to, if you're the only person who is holding yourself up. But let me tell you something. If it's that way, if that's your situation, when you do reach your goal, it's gonna be that much sweeter. It's gonna be that much better, because you can look back and say, you know what, I did that. I built that. I did it. And you'll have yourself to thank, and you just pat yourself on the back, and it's a wrap, and that's it. So it's just some things to keep in mind. But like I say, it's just as a recap, for Dark Femme New Year's resolutions, look at your old habits that need to go, and kill that shit. And but don't be hard on yourself about it. Just be very practical. Just be very matter of fact about it. And then also, be real with yourself about what goals you'd like to have. And I also want to add this: do not let yourself think for a second that a goal that you have chosen is too far fetched, or that you can't really do it, or that you're not sure you can do it. None of that, none of the doubt stuff. Okay, this is going to be, if you want something, you just go for it. And any goal that you have, if it's something you've never done before, or it's something you think you don't know anything about, I want you to start it anyway. And it doesn't matter if you don't know how to start, or it doesn't matter if you're not an expert at it. I want you to start it anyway. And you can learn along the way as you go. And that applies to damn near anything. If there's something you really want, you can start today. And every day that you do it, that you come back to it, you're going to learn a new technique. You're going to learn a new tip or new trick. You're going to learn some more info. You'll find a mentor, someone who can show you the way. And you expand in that way, just by letting yourself try some shit. Like I say, uh, and I said this in the membership too. People don't go to college. People don't show up at college already knowing everything that's going to be covered in the courses. They're interested in it, so then they turn around and go to college, and then they learn about it. You see what I mean? So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, well, I can't do such and such. I don't know anything about that." Well, college students don't know anything about it either until their asses get there and they've been in school for a couple of years. Then they know some things about it, but they weren't experts before they got there. That's the whole point. So if you have your heart set on something, there's something you want to do, you want to be a runner, start going for walks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't, And somebody told me one time, I told her about belly dance, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm not in shape enough for that." And I said, "Nah, you're missing the point." That you don't get in shape and then do belly dance. You do the belly dance because you love it. You just do it. And then as time goes by, as long as you're doing it every day or almost every day, you're going to start getting into some good ass damn shape, because that's what it does. That's the result. But you have to start it. You don't have to look like a model to start belly dance. So, it's just shit like that. And then, and like I say, do stuff that intimidates you. Do things that kind of scare you a little bit. Put yourself in a room of people who scare you a little bit, and that will show you what it's like to be them. You can get tips from them and advice on things, especially if it's somebody that's in your genre you want to get into. And go to events, go to big events. We are all part of the divine, and we're all connected spiritually in that way. So when you're in a room full of people, I don't want you to feel like you're in there with a bunch of strangers. You're in there with a bunch of other souls who are related to you spiritually. And in the end, we all go back to the source. We go right back. All raindrops return back to the ocean. And so there's no reason for you to be nervous about stuff like that. You don't have to be nervous. You're going in there with a bunch of other souls who are all doing their best, just like you and me, and just trying to do the right thing and get ahead and make their lives good. Everybody's got the same goal there for the most part, and if they don't, so what, you know? But go and enjoy yourself, and enjoy your life, and do things, and don't forget to live, and take yourself out on dates if you want to, and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the rain, and and that's it, and welcome to the dark femme life. You know what I mean? So if this is the kind of stuff you're interested in, and you want to go deeper with the psychology and the lifestyle and such as that, like I say, I invite you to the membership. And you can, if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description. And then if you're on Instagram, you can message me or go to the link in my bio or comment, whatever. I'll give you the link, and join the membership. And that's it for now. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.